Welcome to the Sporty Stream into the Rocket League Splash Series playoffs. I'm joined by the Splash Man himself, TommyBuckets. Welcome in, nice to see you here. Welcome everyone to the Sporty Stream. And as I said, Rocket League Splash Series Season 5 playoffs ahead of us. A quarterfinals in the Tsunami Cup, a semifinals in the Surge Cup, and some teams eliminated, some teams moving on. And we're getting closer and closer to deciding who our ultimate winners will be. There's 4 of them, and we're gonna be going through 2 of the leagues. So Buckets, what a night it is, though. There's so many playoff action because we got a quarterfinals here, and we've got a ton of semifinals in the Surge Cup happening simultaneously.
Yeah, so what's happening tonight is the semifinals in the Riptide and Surge Cup, and it's awesome, man. I'm super pumped to kick things off here tonight. We have Affinity Reborn had a phenomenal regular season taking on the Order Paradox. I feel like they've got the right pieces to the puzzle, but it's about putting that puzzle together. What better way to do it against probably one of the toughest opponents you're going to see in the postseason? Affinity Reborn has played phenomenally well, both in RLSS, but also in other leagues. I think me and you have both witnessed them on some pretty magnificent runs deep into some playoffs. So I expect them to bring that similar energy. And the Order Paradox, it's about can they step into the batter's box and not just take swings, but they've got to make some runs happen. So I'm excited for it. I'm pumped to see what they can do. Sometimes miracles happen in the playoffs. Some wild stuff. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the Riptide division, but every game of the quarterfinals, Sporty, went to game 7.
Oh, it's a pretty impressive statistic here. Maybe we'll see the same with these matchups, but for now, as you mentioned, this is the quarterfinals, so we're not quite in the semifinals for this league just yet, but we're getting pretty close to it. 3 of our semifinalists have been decided. Pink Lemonade, Mach 10, and 909 are there. Affinity Reborn and Order Paradox want to be that last one here. This is your time to do it here between both these teams. As you mentioned, Affinity Reborn needs no introduction. These guys are the #1 overall team in the league, the only ones to go undefeated. Order Paradox, actually a team that is in the same group as them, who actually lost this team during the regular season. In fact, they lost in week 4. We got to see that on this stream. They got swept by Affinity Reborn. It was not very pretty. And the main reason why is the fact that Affinity Reborn has swept most of their teams is the fact that they have such a solid team chemistry. They've only gone to Game 5 once, and that was against World, who haven't even made it this far into the playoff bracket. So for what it's worth, Affinity Reborn, there's a reason one of the top teams here. It's because that team chemistry is just so tough to beat, and a team like Order Paradox, or really any team in this bracket, they aren't going to be able to outplay them in that gameplay, but they can definitely outplay them in other aspects. Maybe we'll see a little bit more out of these teams, and maybe something different from Order Paradox, because if you are to beat Affinity Reborn, you gotta do something different.
Yeah, coming out onto the pitch, got Smoky, Juicy Leaf, Landon, backed up by Ale, and for Affinity Reborn, Soj, Elites, and Tomato. And I think you're absolutely right, Sporty. You know, we talk about Affinity Reborn. Not only do Elites and Soj as players have that cohesion, but you also have Soj and Tomato, the coach-player aspect as well. So there's just a lot of comfortability, I think, around Affinity, and it probably keeps them composed in some tough positions. Where for other teams, those types of situations, they're going to have to work out together for the first time. So it's going to be exciting to see how the Order Paradox, one, bounces back. You know they're going to have the regular season on the back of their mind. Now it's the playoffs. Nothing else matters. And sometimes magic starts happening. They get a little bit under their wings. We could see them flying.
Yeah, we could, and that's the thing about it here, is that for Affinity Reborn, one of the things that they might struggle with, though, is that adversity. Again, they've only dropped 3 games total this season, and not even series, so it doesn't happen often to them, and Order Paradox does not seem like a likely team to do it, since they've already been swept by this team in the regular season. But if Order Paradox can make those adjustments, and can find a foothold here against Affinity Reborn, I don't know how Affinity Reborn will do, knowing that there's this team playing against them that has their number. That's the interesting about these #1 teams is that so often you look at them and you say, well, there are no weaknesses, and that's because you haven't really seen them at their weakest element. And for Affinity Reborn, these guys generally aren't that weak. Even in the Blackline Championship Series, they've seen well. They made it to 2nd place in the Champions Division through an insane lower bracket run, but it's a single elimination. They lose once, that's it for their season. And that's how intense it can be here in the Tsunami Cup, especially with quite the prize pool. What's the prize pool again, TommyBuckets, for Tsunami? It's
Tsunami, it's going to be 210.
yeah,
So pretty
210.
pumped
So
about that.
pretty solid prize pool awaiting the winners and, you know, those players that make it to the top of this league. So, you know, they haven't guaranteed anything yet. They got to make it pretty far to get any piece of that prize pool. But the pressure, you know, the pressure of the playoffs, you know, on the backs of these guys, gonna be pretty important. And just to add even more to that is the fact that Affinity Reborn hadn't even played yet. They had a first round bye. The first round team forfeited. So these guys really don't know what it's going to be like. And while I don't doubt their abilities in the playoffs, it doesn't make it better when you have to play against a team who's already seasoned in the playoffs, like Order Paradox, who've already made it through a round, beating Aspire in a Game 7.
Yeah, they're just familiar with the territory, and I just think that's going to come into play a lot stronger for them than a lot of people expect. And the Order Paradox, like I said, it's about getting into the batter's box and taking not just swings but making contact, and they could do that. See a very successful night for them, and if not, I think Affinity Reborn is going to do what Affinity Reborn typically does, and that's put points. Um, it's really going to be if they can go toe to toe and kind of be there for those blows when they start taking place.
As you said, again, we actually already have Order Paradox coming in, and it is Smokey Ale joining in. So they have to sub playing tonight, and Landon. So we'll see how those three do here tonight. It's going to be quite the matchup here. Again, for Affinity Reborn, they only have 3 players. These guys have been consistent this whole season. They haven't made a single roster move either. And that's the interesting part about this, that Order Paradox do have subs. And both these teams also have tactical timeouts. We'll see how much these are utilized. I expect we're going to see a good amount of strategizing because these teams know about it. They've made it far enough in the back to know about that. And we'll see how it works here.
Yeah, sometimes, being able to pick and choose your timing of that technical timeout play a big factor. Slowing down momentum, different types of approaches you could use to try to fluctuate some of that momentum back your way. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the two can get to their ability. And it
We're
looks
just getting
like
messages to these guys. Hopefully they'll be here in just a minute. All right, so hey, everybody's coming in for a little bit of fun. Again, by the way, everybody, again, the players for Order Paradox tonight are Landon, Ale, and Smokey, who decides to go with the period tonight. So you can tell he's hard sweating in this game. he's going with the full period here for his names. This guy having a little fun with it, but we've seen this before. You know these players mean business when it comes to the playoffs, and I think now is a good time to start getting ourselves ready for it. I know we had some, Smokey told me he's going to probably change his name back as quickly as he can, so we'll give him a little bit of time to do that. Again, our next match after this, later tonight, if you take a look at our schedule here for just a quick moment, again, it's that semifinals matchup. Our next team not bound taking on Affinity Academy. So Affinity Reborn, with 2 teams playing tonight, the last 2 teams, I believe, left on the org playing tonight, so we'll see which of those teams, if any of those 2 teams, do make it through here for these rounds. As I just noticed, schedule's incorrect. Of course, can't be, you can't have this stream without some sort of errors. There we go. We'll fix it real quick for you all and get things sorted out. Here we go. Again, a big best of 7 matchup. 2 best of 7s. This is number 1. That semifinal will be number 2. And I think this is time to get things underway, TommyBuckets. A best of 7 series. The quarterfinals are here. Affinity Reborn, the best team in the Tsunami Cup so far. The only team to have not lost. Taking on a team that is looking for revenge in the playoff bracket. Order Paradox have not made it this far just to lose here. So this best of 7 means a lot to them. Means the ability to take revenge, to fight back, and to make those adjustments. Order Paradox will be representing the blue side of Affinity Reborn on the orange, and this best of 7 will determine who will go to the semifinals with a chance to go all the way to the final bracket, the final match on this stream.
Affinity Reborn taking the early possession off the kickoff into the corner. Nothing too dangerous as Ale now off the sidewall. Elites buries the play, and this one sits in front of the net. A little too much power. This one's going to be played away. Patience by the defense pays off as Affinity Reborn takes the opening shots on net.
Yeah, and I think that's no surprise to see from Affinity Reborn just how aggressive these guys like to be, that these guys like to push, and they're going to continue to do that. And I think for Order Paradox, not a question of if Affinity Reborn is going to score against them, they will. It's just how do you respond to it? How do you answer back? And this match will determine a lot of that here. As Elites now, a long touch, Landon will keep it out, but Affinity Reborn still at it as Elites with no boost, looking for opening opportunities, and it's Order Paradox right now, who are playing Defense Simulator over and over, and it shows you just how scary Affinity Reborn is going to be, because this is only the start of their offensive pressure.
Early on, they're gonna, they get more aggressive almost with confidence, just kind of use it as their power on the field. Elites now looking for a double, no boost, and this one's going to be played away now to the far side. Landon needs a touch, finds just enough. It's going to buy them some time, but not for long. A Soj shot on target, played away by Landon, and another defensive save, but for how long? As Elites finds one on the net.
Yeah, and he knew it was going to break by at some point. Landon has been playing insane defense so far, but he's known for that as well, but it doesn't make a difference when you play that much defense. Affinity Reborn will score, and as I said, it's not about how long it's going to take for these guys to score. It's going to be, what do Order Paradox do now that they have been scored on?
Shots come out, and I think the energy has to stay in a positive format. They've got to go toe-to-toe with these guys. The bigger that gap becomes, the quicker almost Affinity Reborn get. The confidence kind of takes over, and the aggression is where they find a lot of success late. The pinch on target, but Elites grabs it from the corner. A close call for Affinity.
Yeah, but now they're back on defense to transition, and again, it's Landon who's made that block, and we'll be seeing that a lot from Landon. This guy has been a defensive rock all season for the Order Paradox to save them out of numerous opportunities, but he's only one player here as a team bump for Affinity. Almost gave away an opportunity there, but Order Paradox sitting back so far, and gonna result in a lackluster push here, but Landon's gonna have it, and nobody challenged. Order Paradox will take it as Affinity Reborn stopped on their goal line.
I think for a moment they thought that one wasn't going to land. Landon buries it just over, and a little bit of trickery coming out as they tie things up 1-1. And I think for the Order Paradox, this is what we needed to see. The quick responses, because the points are going to ring out as Soj gets one off the crossbar.
If you can do it, I can do it better. Affinity Reborn have already answered back, and it's just a simple play off the kickoff. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. That's how Affinity Reborn has played their seasons, and it's how they continue to do so here. And again, it's what marks this team. It's a solid roster. It's not the mechanics, although they do have that. It's a lot more on the teamwork, on the simple things. They're just such a scary roster when it comes to that kind of stuff. And you know more goals can come if they get that momentum, as they almost do there. But Landon, again, stuffing the way, and right now becoming quite the keystone player for the Order of Paradox, because without Landon playing as well as he is, this game would have gotten out of hand for them.
Strong performance both on offense and defense, and has at least kept it within range as Smokey tries to get over Tomato, can't find it. Now the quick response, shot on target, played away. Now Elites, the one's capabilities starting to ring out, drops it off at the front doorstep. Again, a patient defense for the Order Paradox as they keep that one out of their net. Now quickly back the other way into the corner. Smokey wants a center, can't find it through Tomato. Affinity Reborn holding on to a 1-point lead in the final 90 seconds of play here.
Yeah, and it's an overall calm play style from Affinity Reborn. They're just looking to waste out time, but it may not be easy as Ale. Now here comes Smokey to the back wall. Elites will get the block, and Affinity Reborn quick to look for an out, but Landon, this one, double commit from Affinity Reborn, and the Order Paradox will push up more. Ale, here he goes, a one-on-one, now on two, but that second defender in Soj will stand in the way, and Affinity Reborn will waste out even more time. Order Paradox starting to panic here. Time's running out for them, and they need a goal here in game one to get the Sirs off on the right foot for them.
And then wanted a shot, but that one just a little wide into the corner. Smokey now wants it clear, but taking off the hood of his car, Tomato, an early challenge. They're going to take over possession here at the midfield line. Now Soj plays it slow, waiting for a chance to strike. Can't find it as bring it back into the zone. For the Order Paradox, they need to find one. Ooh. And Elites goes wide. He's going to want that one back. The assurancy goal goes just wide.
Yeah, but Affinity Reborn still have possession as time runs out. Order Paradox need to keep it alive here. This one, though, whipped by Smokey, and that will not do it just yet. He's got one last chance. Up goes Landon, but Tomato with the block, able to keep it alive, but on the ground, he's got to flick it high. This one, stopped by Elites, and if everybody committed, that's Affinity Reborn with game one.
Strong performance, Affinity Reborn. Just getting warm out there, and for the moment, the Order Paradox kind of standing there. This is what we wanted to see. It's about responding to the pace of play that Affinity Reborn can put up here in game one. Affinity Reborn out in front now, leading the series 1-0. The Order Paradox playing good sport. I like what we're seeing out of them. They just got to be careful on some of these approaches because in the blink of an eye, Affinity Reborn can go from one end of the pitch to the other, and it's exciting to watch.
Yeah, I think what we really need to see from Order Paradox is to relax a little bit more on Landon. He's gotten so much pressure in that game when he's handled it so well, but no matter how good Landon can be in a game, Affinity Reborn just carries so much pressure with them in that game one that eventually something would break. Order Paradox, if they have any chance of winning, it's got to be releasing that pressure from Landon and allowing him to push up further.
Yeah, and that aggression, and it needs to develop early. I think the issue that a lot of teams give is it's just too much room, and at this level, that too much room is a matter of inches and sometimes a matter of feet. But it's just so crazy how quickly the Affinity Reborn can get things going, and for the Order Paradox, it's about meeting that challenge and meeting it early, cutting off those passing lanes, and being able to kind of be that presence before it starts getting started.
Here we go, it's game one, done and dusted. Affinity Reborn off to a start that I think most people expected here tonight, but to continue that, Order Paradox are going to give them a tough time with their defensive structure, so Affinity Reborn will have to find a little bit more to make Order Paradox a little more awkward, because even though they had to face so much defense, Order Paradox have been characteristically quite calm in this match, and I think that is only going to do well for them as the series continues. But Tomato taking it away, Smokey will stop him off the back wall, and Order Paradox continue to show us that their defense is not one to panic easily.
Well defended here at the midfield line. Ale now off,
oh my goodness,
high on the backboard, but the slight touch to disrupt coming out of Affinity Reborn, enough to throw off the attack. They buy themselves some time. Now to midfield. Tomato, the long shot landed there, and the defensive powerhouse with the save once again.
That's Landon's gameplay for you here, but Affinity Reborn still have tricks up their sleeve. The midfield fully in their control. Now Elites, the flip reset to leap. Order Paradox back. He's faked the demo. Smokey, though, gets the challenge, but Affinity Reborn is being played right into them here. As Soj in midfield, that's just across the nets, but no one there to challenge. And you just see these close quarters combat going Affinity's way. A challenge from Elites, and Landon got pushed up too high.
This is what Elites can do. The capabilities, the vision he has on the pitch is something you always have to be weary of. Even just merely a sliver of a window, Elites can make it happen. Now off the kickoff, the floater played away by Landon. Easy save, but one on target. And for Affinity Reborn, it's what they do best, is shots after shots after shots. Little Wayne himself would be excited.
I'm sure he would be, and that's the thing about Affinity Reborn, their playstyle. It's exciting to watch just how much the offense these guys have, because it's never ending. It's always possible. They can just move up the field and take a shot on you. They do it so quickly, they do it so efficiently, and just look at the pace at which they get upfield. Elites now, he's got his chance, and that really didn't take all that long before he got that opportunity. Affinity Reborn have such good pacing that Order Paradox have to watch themselves on every challenge they go for, because once Affinity have the ball, they don't give it away easily, and they usually don't give it away without at least one chance on net. As Elites here, open goal to shoot at, and there he goes again. Affinity Reborn cannot be touched right now. 2 goals for the favorites, as Order Paradox's defense just can't do enough.
They're leaving Again, it's these passing lanes. We see Affinity Reborn capitalizing on them. The Order Paradox getting into them sooner than later. Landon now, the shot from mid-range going a little wide. Still trailed by 2. The Order Paradox looking for a little bit of breathing room. Smokey now, late touch, almost finds its way over the defense. This one played away by Elite, looking for a clear, removed off the pitch. Now to the far side. The Order Paradox looking to maintain possession. Ailes up, he's got the touch to the back wall, but it's executed by perfection off the backboard from Affinity Reborn.
I've been impressed with some of these backboard reads from some of these guys. It is not easy to read those touches, even at the level that these guys are at. There's a reason why people still challenge you there, and it's because everybody's so talented at reading it. As Soj off the back, our first double tap of the series. We've seen a couple attempts, but none have hit just like this. And in fact, not even a double tap. That's an home goal from Ale. It makes it all the more worse for Order Paradox.
Need a Reborn. It looked like Soj was going to be able to close that one out. An unfortunate touch towards the net does give him a 3-point lead. Now out in front. These are the moments where Affinity Reborn gets their scariest. Is once they get the lead and that confidence come out, they know that they have that wiggle room if things don't go right. It is when they almost play at their best, when their guards let down a little bit, and for the Order Paradox, they're going to want to find a way to stunt that confidence.
Yeah, most teams play better when they're in the lead, and Affinity Reborn is no different, but the scary thing about this team is the fact that when they're in the lead, they're unbeatable at the level that they play at, and it almost, and as you said, they're just such a scary team overall when they are at this confidence level, because they only score more, and they only make things more and more difficult. Another chance in front, and just look at the confidence from Affinity Reborn. Even if they make mistakes, these guys don't care. They know that they have such a lead, and it's almost as if they're just saying that they've already won. That's the scary part about the play style they have. It feels like they've already won, even though this game still has a whole minute to go. That's just the kind of aura that Affinity Reborn bring. Is now another chance in front, landing with another block, but Order Paradox, that offense has not been seen this game, and it's only getting worse as Elites will pickpocket that one. And if you thought it wasn't over yet, I think that goal will change your mind.
Stealing the cookies out the cookie jar through the kitchen window. Elites. An early challenge pays off, and that's not the first time we've seen him do it. And some of the capabilities that these players start to bring out, and for Elites, player known to find their way amongst the top 100 in ones. It is no doubt that he's able to find some of these opportunities, and these are the moments that we talk about. It's not a matter of if Affinity Reborn is going to put points up, it's how many are they going to put up, and if the Order Paradox can go toe-to-toe with them, because I like using Tom Brady, but fourth quarter Tom Brady was something scary, and Affinity Reborn bring that similar energy. They're going to close out game number 2, now in the lead, 2-0 tonight's series.
Just like Tom Brady, it feels like cheating here for Affinity Reborn with how well they're playing. Sorry. Now, you know what? I don't regret saying that. I'm so sorry, guys. If any of you out there are Patriots fans, my apologies, but not really. I had to make that joke. As we're going into game 3 here, Affinity Reborn, though, up 2-0, and it doesn't seem close, Tommy. Tommy, that's the scary part about it. It doesn't seem close, and that's the scary part for the Order Paradox, because they're not even that bad of a team. They just don't have what it takes to take down the Affinity Reborn right now. And that's true for most teams, and I really don't know if any team in this league has the ability, because we have not seen anybody stop this team all season long. The closest was World going to game 5, but even then Affinity Reborn took it. I'm very worried for the Paradox's chances, because right now they look quite slim.
Yeah, they've got to find a way to, I mean, I know if you're a Affinity Reborn fan, you don't want to hear it, but the aggression goes a long way. When you got players like Elites that have the capabilities that he has and is having the game he is having tonight, I mean, you've got to get a little aggressive. You got to put a hand in the face. You've got to do something and shut down these opportunities, because right now they're just flying high for Affinity Reborn. They're looking to continue that here tonight. The Order Paradox. A fresh start here headed into game number 3, the kickoff underway.
And what I think is most crucial about that break is the fact that the Order Paradox did not use their tactical timeouts. So, obviously, they've got still some confidence left in them, because if teams lose their confidence, you know they're calling that timeout as soon as they can. But Affinity Reborn, right back into how they start, and Order Paradox looking to get some confidence back, but it hasn't done well. 16 seconds in, and already Elites have scored. And for Order Paradox, I'm starting to question whether or not they should have used that tactical timeout.
Yeah, it's something to just have that conversation about slowing down Elites. Again, open air and shot finds its way through. Elites now finds Tomato off the kickoff over the midfield. The reset, almost looking like a delay or a fake, and this one well defended. That's the type of defensive performance we need to continue to see from the Order Paradox. Now Ale back towards the net. The bump looking to be had from Smokey, but this one comes through just a tad too late. The turnover of possession. Affinity Reborn back the other way.
Order Paradox still stuck on defense, and they really can't be here. At this point in the series, they know the best way to really beat Affinity Reborn is not to play the defense against them. You've got to be able to bring those counterattacks somehow and some way, because Affinity Reborn can be somewhat susceptible to quick attacks. They are so used to playing on offense so often that playing defense for them, especially getting back to defense quickly, is actually an issue for these guys. But right now, Order Paradox has not been able to get any of these quick breaks, and it's only getting worse. Tomato's dunk nearly made it 2 goals for Affinity, and if a second goal goes in for Affinity already, I start to consider if Order Paradox even have the opportunities to come back, because they've only scored once this series so far.
Nice center. Elites on it to the backboard. Well defended here from Ailes. Things were looking dangerous. Got the room through one. Now the ball sits. Landon. Shot rings out. This one finds its target. It's 1-1. And when the Order Paradox needed to find one, this was a goal to start the momentum for him. I think getting out in front here, I don't want to find myself in reverse sweep territory against Affinity Reborn if it were me.
I don't want to find myself in losing territory, but as you see from Order Paradox, they're utilizing what I said is the strategy to beat this team. Counterattacks, quick attacks, and they do it again. It's Ale to shoot this time. And Order Paradox now with their first lead of the series. And as I told you, Tommy, it's the counterattacks. That's Affinity Reborn's weakness.
They play so aggressive, so confident. It sometimes allows them to be just a little over stimulated onto the pitch, where they almost too far forward, and way to capitalize on a moment. Ale wants the shot, and you can feel the confidence starting to be there for the Order Paradox.
Oh, no.
They're getting up for opportunities, but this one, close call. The Order Paradox stay alive.
I thought you cursed them there for a moment, Tommy, because that one really did look like it had everything to go in, as now Elites shooting on the wrong net. He's very fortunate to have that one go wide, and already we're seeing some strange plays from these sides. You're starting to see the strategies here in Game 3, and, well, unlike Order Paradox, they're quite unorthodox here, as here they go again. Ale, the dribble, is going to try to keep it up, but Elites will tape it away. While he has his boost stolen, he will still challenge Affinity Reborn, looking for their chance upfield, and for the first time this series, they're the ones in the back foot, and they're the ones playing the defensive.
This is where you want to be. You want to make them as uncomfortable as possible. Team that almost relies on the confidence, breaking up the monotony. The Order Paradox lead by 1 inside 2 minutes. Landon now to midfield. Finds Ale. Shot wide. The putback from Smokey. Yabba dabba doo. It's a slow roller to the inside corner.
Yeah, such a smart play there from the captain of Order Paradox. He knows Tomato's gonna pre-jump that one and look to cover as much net as possible. So the best thing to do, don't shoot fast where he could save it. Shoot slow, shoot low, and shoot truthfully. And that's exactly what the Order Paradox do.
Hoping to continue to ride this momentum, the energy picking up for the Order Paradox. Elites now up at midfield. Now Soj Gets the reset and the 50 all in the rafters, but isn't going to be enough. The long-range shot from Ale on target. Affinity Reborn managed to keep this one out, and for a team struggling on defense, they need something as things are starting to find its way back into the hands of the Order Paradox.
Yeah, now the Affinity Reborn don't have the lead. You're seeing quite a different team play here. It's one that the counterattacks of Order Paradox are counting as now leads. The flick stopped by Landon. And it's Affinity Reborn right now who are just looking for anything, as you said, anything upfield, any chances. This is them really on that panic, and it is not looking pretty for them out here as Order Paradox just continue to challenge that midfield so well, and Affinity Reborn cannot break through as a whiff on the back wall, and Landon to put in another. It's a 3-goal difference, and the Order Paradox are in total control.
Looking so strong here in game number 3, and it was a moment where I feel like they needed to step up to the plate. We said we needed to see them get into the batter's box and be able to take those swings, and for the time being, that seems to be the case. The demo rings out. Elite's looking to open up an opportunity. This one now to the far side. One bounce to Soj to the backboard. He gets the touch. The double lands. They call him Super Soj for a reason.
Super Soj, more like Superman. He's up in the air and he's up and away. Affinity Reborn, drop it down. A beautiful goal, even if it's only for consolation. But that's got to bring some of the life back into this team.
30 seconds away. We've seen the quickest turnaround of time happen from 2/3 of this roster almost 2 years ago here in this very channel with Sporty. In the booth. It was me and you together. They did it in 28 seconds. Now down by 2 with 10 on the clock. The Order Paradox clinching on to the momentum here in game number 3. And as time dwindles down, they will find themselves one step closer in the series.
They were swept before, but not again, and the Order Paradox have brought the response back here in Game 3. And Affinity Reborn has got some work to do. This is no walk in the park for them, and well, that game is only one game, and we could definitely see them bounce back. It does put a wrench in their plans. It's going to be a lot tougher from here on out for them, because now the Order Paradox are playing, they're looking quite confident, and if they rely on those counterattacks, Affinity Reborn's chances are not going to be very easy.
Need to see that similar aggression and confidence on offense on the other side of the pitch for Affinity. They kind of fell to a little bit of shambles as the aggression picked up from the Order Paradox, and they found themselves in territory they weren't necessarily familiar with. And for Affinity Reborn, I always talk about in these best of sevens about the storylines, being able to adapt. And you need, in a best of fives, you only need 3, but here you need 4. And to find perfection through 4 games is one of the toughest things to do. And for Affinity Reborn, their number was called in game number 3. The Order Paradox stood tall. Now headed to game number 4. Will things continue for them as they look to tie the series up? We're headed to the kickoff.
Game 4, match point still on the line here for Affinity Reborn, and still would be a great place to take it. A 3-1 lead in the series is nothing to be worried about. That's a great lead to take, but it's not going to start easily if they miss here, as Order Paradox nearly had that chance on targets, and already Affinity Reborn have got to be a little concerned because that whiff doesn't bode well for the future. They do get the clear of the tomato, stopped by Smoke as Elites will turn his tail. Here comes Soj, up he goes, but rocks away in Order Paradox will keep the ball back. You're seeing them fighting this midfield, and man, that is making some huge difference, the fact that they can step up to Affinity Reborn right now.
They're coming out strong, and they were able to bounce back. The early lead went in favor of Affinity Reborn, but quick responses back the other way. The Order Paradox was able to find the momentum. Will that carry over? Will we see the aggression pan out in favor of them here early on? Smokey now up. Watch the double off the crossbar. A close call for Affinity Reborn.
Yeah, but not out of it just yet. Off the back wall, Ale! And Ale put it in the top left corner. The Order Paradox score first for the first time this series. And what a way to do it! High flying action of Affinity Reborn, stuck grounded.
Ale has stepped up and like cracking up a barrel of aged whiskey, has been on fire in these last two matches, but So just takes it off the kickoff, and this one finds its way through. It was a slow finger roll, but it doesn't get stopped.
I think we've seen that go before, TommyBuckets. Affinity Reborn right off the kickoff with a simple two-touch air dribble. It doesn't get much more simplistic to describe than that, and again, this team, not perturbed, not concerned in the slightest, and for all that Order Paradox have done, they're going to have to do a lot of scoring here, because, as we saw before, Affinity Reborn, once they get a goal, they like to back up multiple. The Order Paradox, they're going to have to do just the same if they have any chance of beating this team, as an infield pass just stopped by Smokey. Affinity Reborn, not done with the offense yet, but here goes Landon. Up he goes to the corner, Soj to keep him out. A roll around to the corner. So's the pinch, but it's straight to Smokey, and this one's on target. But Tomato will prevent the dunk, and Affinity Reborn will prevent any further opportunities as the Order Paradox will wait in the midfield.
Got to experience Smokey for the first time in our All-Star tournament following Season 4, and a player that I know has the mechanical capabilities. We almost saw that double tap land. I believe you continue to see some of this comfortability start coming out of Smokey. This could be a player create some trouble later in the series. Affinity Reborn tied things back up. Out in front in the series, they hope to keep that going. Ooh, they got a tough one, but it's not going to be enough. Soj just buries it. I just can't believe he had enough in the tank to get up and over Ale. Nothing left by the end of it. And Soj completing the play for a 2-1 lead for Affinity Reborn.
You may not have believed it, Tommy. I think there was someone else who didn't believe it, and that was Ale. He did not move at all from where he was standing. He just didn't think Affinity Reborn had any opportunities at taking that, and they're showing us why they're so good. There's another pass in front! Oh, it's absolutely beautiful! It leads to put in the easiest shot he could have thought of, and this really was just all brought on by the incredible skill of Soj with a two-player air dribble beat.
Beautiful performance, and this is the danger zone that the Order Paradox wanted to avoid. The free-flowing Affinity Reborn roster. Dangerous when out in front. Now the clear to midfield. Soj on a pickup. Watch the redirect. A bold move, Sporty, but one that almost found its way through. Would have been chaos on the defensive line, and that one found the wiggle room.
And that's the scary thing about Soj. We know he can hit those shots as well. Even if we don't see him do it, as now Elite's a 1v1, he can definitely hit these, and he looks for the bump. Landon will keep his ground, and again, incredible defense from this guy, who has really kept Order Paradox in it in some of these losing games. But it hasn't been enough, and with only 100 seconds to go, Order Paradox need offense, and they need it soon. A flick ahead, though, Smokey to keep it in. This could be a great chance for them, but Ale's touch has gone the wrong direction. The Order Paradox will keep it still, but they don't have the players upfield, and they won't get the shots from it either, as some miscommunication, some misrotation, and that's all that it needs, that Affinity Reborn needs to take away these chances from the Order Paradox.
Looking for a clear, Ale through the corner. Can't find it through Soj, needs some assistance. Smokey upfield, redirect off the backboard, but the defense is there, and a booming clear for Affinity Reborn. All the work quickly shut down as Soj buries it from the midfield.
No questions here for Affinity Reborn. A whiff from Landon, and for Soj, he's got the whole right net asking to be scored on there. A little under a minute to go, but I think for the Order Paradox, that tactical timeout has to be utilized no matter how this game ends, because they're not winning it with this kind of a deficit. And you're seeing, again, even with this game starting off so well for the Order Paradox, it looked so confident. But what Affinity Reborn has done has been otherworldly when it comes to that kind of offense they've brought. It's the reason why they swept teams like 100x Chroma during the regular season, and it's the reason why Order Paradox doesn't stand a chance against them here in Game 4. That offense, that chemistry, it's just far too talented, far too strong to take down. Oh, but a goal back from Ale. Maybe I spoke too soon, Tommy. Maybe I spoke too soon. There's still 34 seconds left, and a comeback, while unlikely, is not impossible.
Ale's mental is one to be reckoned with as he keeps them close. Now 30 seconds remaining, and they trail by 2, and what once looked like a far reach has become a tad bit closer here for the Order Paradox. They need another quick one. They need some time on the clock for a chance to strike, and they got to get through a very strong game number 4 coming out of Affinity Reborn. Demanding lead now with 10 seconds left. Time running out for the Order Paradox. Affinity Reborn will find themselves on match point.
One game away from taking this series, from moving on to the semifinals. And I have a feeling we'll be seeing that tactical timeout used by the Order Paradox here. They do have it. They do know that they can use it. They're surprised they haven't called it yet. We'll see if they do, though. But TommyBuckets, this is what we expect from Affinity Reborn. This is how talented these guys are. They're just that scary team to take on. But what we're seeing here is no call for that tactical timeout. And we'll see if the Order Paradox wants to utilize it, but if they don't, what a decision that is. They aren't going to use it here. My goodness, what a confident play for the Order Paradox. They don't want the tactical timeouts. And that surprises me, because with how badly the series has gone for them, you really think of all times now they have to utilize it, but I guess I'm not the Order Paradox.
Listen, not only are they confident,
I know that they're chatting in the text chat.
It is amazing. A little bit of small friendly banter between the two teams. Affinity Reborn, though, back in familiar territory. 1 game away from putting an end to the series for the Order Paradox. Now, we've seen greatness so far in the blink of an eye down to the Riptide Cup. We've seen teams turn it around, and we were looking at Champions Field out of nowhere. But does the Order Paradox have what it takes? We're about to find out next.
Big one comeback, pretty recognizable comeback on the stream. I've coined it a lot, and we've seen it a lot on the stream, but it hasn't happened on the stream in a little while for matches like this. And we'll see if the Order Paradox can maybe change that, maybe create that streak as almost an own goal from Landon. Not a good start as Soj in front for leads, but it will go a little too far from him. He won't be able to stretch around to get that one. As we're already seeing Order Paradox with this, early scares here. That defensive structure isn't really there. That rotation's falling apart, and against Affinity Reborn, you need to be perfect. And right now, we have not seen it here as a mistake. That one's open, and Elites has missed it. That should have been in. Affinity Reborn have been given far too many opportunities to not have scored yet.
I feel like every player on the pitch had to have just been holding their breath, because I know I was. A close call for the Order Paradox, and for the time being, they keep things even. Steven, now the clear from Ale into the corner. Player that has been fairly pivotal here in the latter half of the series. Early on, we saw some huge, oh my goodness. If that would have landed from Smokey, I would have lost my mind. Would have been one of the grossest touches I think we've seen in this series. And that's saying a lot, because we've seen some pretty remarkable double taps coming from both squads so far.
I know, we've seen some pretty insane stuff from some of these teams at this level, but I wouldn't deny now, and even in the playoffs, to see some even crazier stuff. I mean, it is the time for that here, but Affinity Reborn giving no time to the Order Paradox for those opportunities as Ale, the pinch away. And that one will be challenged by Soj, but Tomato now. Oh, what a fake goal. That's beautiful from Tomato. Smokey just got caught looking there. Tomato has just absolutely broke his ankles, and that is not going to look good on the highlight reel. As Affinity Reborn back at it again, Elites off the ceiling. He won't get the shot, but the Order Paradox, we're just seeing why Affinity Reborn's been so talented. You're seeing it from the midfield here. These challenges have been so tough to take down, and while Order Paradox have had chances to break through, we've seen very little come from any of these opportunities.
They've got to be able to find that shooter right now. Seems to be the missing piece, and I feel like they're both trying to fake each other out, and it's just fake after fake. The playbooks, the reaching in, trying to find out what is and isn't going to work, and Why not? The season on the line. You need to find something to land. Smokey wants a center. Now Ale
Ooh, what a
looking
dunk.
for it, but the 50. Tomato's going to find this one through the defense and nobody home on the backside.
Just a great dunk there. Tomato pushed high, and again, Order Paradox caught. Not expecting the challenges from Affinity Reborn to come so early, but that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're playing. Affinity Reborn isn't sitting on the goal line. So often we see these teams that like to play this offense sit back really far. Affinity Reborn's not one of those teams. They will push up against you if they see those challenges, and they do it often. And for the Order Paradox, it's only making things tougher for them because, you know, not only are they playing defense simulator on their own back end, but when they do that offense, they're shut down almost immediately by the Affinity Reborn challenges. Now that they're down a goal, we know what Affinity Reborn are like when they're in the lead. It can only get worse from here unless Order Paradox can find something miraculous.
Tomato now wants it out to the midfield. Does find it. And Landon trying to get fancy after the pickup at the midfield line. Leeds not having it. Big clear off the backboard, but Tomato back in, wants it. And again, shut down at the backboard. And it looks like we got a Rule 1 going on inside of the net.
I think we both saw it at the exact same time there. We got I believe it's Soj, and I think it's Smokey and the blue net there just holding and locking down. And we'll see who's better than 2v2s. I have a feeling, though, we'll see how this works, but I feel like with the lead still in the field, I don't really know if I bank on Order Paradox's chances in a 2v2 matchup. This does allow for, you know, goals to happen a little more often here. And right now, though, Landon running havoc, and he's done that a little bit more often as these games have gone on. A lot more demo-free, a lot more aggressive as AL, a double tap, couldn't put it down. And Landon can't challenge as Affinity Reborn. A little panicky on defense, but overall, with Soj as the captain probably cheering them from that blue net, we'll see if Affinity Reborn do well here. Tomato, flip reset, stopped by Ale. Less than a minute to go with the season on the line, and the Order Paradox holding on to the 2v2 situation here. They only need one goal, one chance to take it. Landon might have it. This one in front. He's got the B2. And it's Landon all alone to keep Order Paradox in the series.
It's always the playoffs where magic happens. A little bit of scoreboard symmetry here in the quarterfinals. 1-0-4-0-1. It's written in the stars here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Smokey now over the midfield. Now the cross, early challenge from Tomato, but the shot from far. This one going a little wide. Energy starting to develop here for the Order Paradox, and we've seen them in this area before, and Reborn struggled to deal with a confident Order Paradox, and if they can continue to keep this energy up, this could start to be the beginning of trouble. Reborn known to go toe-to-toe with some of the best.
Yes, time runs out. It's 0 seconds. They could end it there. A big stop on the goal line, and that could have ended the series. Affinity Reborn are 1 goal away from moving to the semifinals. Any chance can do it for the Order Paradox. The season on the line. Landon saved them in the regular 5 minutes, but there's a lot more game to go as here comes Affinity Reborn on offense with Tomato. The consistency and the confidence still high for this team because they have so much behind them. Elites couldn't get the dribble around Smokey. Order Paradox will now go for their chance. This one to the back wall. Soj to keep him away, but with 30 seconds already gone, and it's the Order Paradox on offense, and it's Affinity Reborn. We're just waiting for the opportunity to show itself. Elites might have it. Flip reset. Could use it. The ground play. Second touch. Oh, what a block. Ale got demoed, but he got it up on it. And Order Paradox continue to defy all imagination to stay in this tournament.
They are putting it on the line in this OT, but it's not going to be enough. The coach, Tomato, seals the deal. Affinity Reborn take this series.
They moved to the semifinals. The Order Paradox stood no chance, and while they kept it close in some of these games, it's Affinity Reborn who swept them in the regular season. It's Affinity Reborn who are just as good, and now even better at this point in the season. And unfortunately for the Order Paradox, they're just coming against a team that's just far too good. And that's the scary part about, you know, Affinity Reborn is that oftentimes when they play against teams, these teams are just too good. And, you know, I hate to say it like that because it seems so, you know, boring, but Affinity Reborn, there's a reason why they're the top team here. And they're the top team by far, TommyBuckets. They're just that good.
Yeah, they're that good. They're scary to deal with. And like I said, when they get that confidence, when they find that rhythm, they're one of the toughest teams to shut down. I've seen them go far into the postseason. I've seen them go on some pretty nuts lower bracket runs over in BLCS fairly recently. The last couple of months between Mach 10 and Affinity Reborn is a scary precedence to have to see them on your schedule. And they have shown that they belong here, now headed one step closer to the grand finals.
Yeah, but of course, before we do that, we are going to get a little interview, I think, with Affinity Reborn here. But before we even do that, we got to recap what our next match is. You'll be joining me again for that match later tonight, Tommy Buckets. But might as well talk a little bit about that match. Our next team not found, Affinity Academy. I think the last of the 135 teams in all tournaments here in all these brackets. And it's their best, probably, to win, with their chances. Our next team not found, the top team in the Surge Cup. They've got a matchup here to prove that they deserve a spot in finals. That's it's gonna be an insane matchup, Tommy Buckets, and I know you're joining me for that one. So, you're gonna tell me kind of the excitement to know that our team that found are still en route to take what would be a championship that eluded them last season.
Yeah, I as soon as the season ended, Jay messaged me and said they were coming back next season. They want the championship. He's been chasing it down since the dawn of season 5, and it lays in front of him here tonight. Team Not Found taking on Affinity Academy, who are playing strong. I feel like this may be some of the strongest performance we've seen out of Affinity Academy. They took just a few losses in the regular season, and they bounced back fairly effectively from it. And they look forward to taking them on here tonight. I know there's a lot of energy going on.
Tuesday.
I'm pumped to witness that happen.
Yes, I know who else is pumped. It's
What's up,
Affinity
brother?
Reborn. They're joining in. I know Elite's just said Tuesday for whatever reason. So hopefully he's
Tuesday.
Elite's. It is Friday, my friend. I think we need to get Elite's a calendar with those prize winnings here. But for Affinity Reborn, congratulations on making it now to the semifinals. Taking on Pink Lemonade. So you guys got the number 1 overall seed, and I like a lot of people would say it's kind of expected that you guys would make it this far. But it really can't be expected with a single elimination format. So, how are you feeling after that performance? What is your first performance in the playoffs this season?
I'm honestly, it was all right. It was okay. We I feel like they came back a lot stronger this time. And I'm glad we could get the dub. But like judging by our recent results in BLCS and the Grand Circuit, I wasn't really concerned with what was going to happen.
You guys came out, and we talk about a lot about how well you guys just kind of roll once you start getting things going. Is the confidence just flowing, and you guys just get into a free flow state? I know you don't want to give out all the secrets here. Is there anything particular about Affinity Reborn when they're out in front by a couple of points?
Well, whenever we've got the vibes high, there's nothing in the world that can stop us. And one of the things that really exemplifies that is when we were in the BLCS lower finals. I think was it lower finals or what? It was lower finals. We went down 0-3, and we just said, this is it. Let's have a good time, at the very least, so we can enjoy the time. And then, once our vibes got up, our momentum got up, and I don't think any of the RLCS teams could even beat us in that series. That's how confident we were. So to bring that back here, like every single match here, we're up against the wall. So that is our thing. When we're up against the wall, we go.
And I love to hear that kind of confidence. Again, there's a reason you guys have been the top team here. And against Order Paradox, what was it like, Elites, to play against a team on a Friday, by the way, here that's a team that you had already beaten in the regular season? Because so often in the playoffs, you play against teams that you don't know. But here you played against a team you did. What was it like to have that rematch? Did that make things easier for you guys or tougher?
Definitely gave us, at least me personally, a little bit of a confidence boost, just knowing that we already had, they kind of just knew coming in that we've beat them before, more or less. I don't think it gave me a confidence boost, but I feel like in my head, if I got swept by a team before,
I'd be a bit hesitant going into the next game. So I don't know. Kind of gave me confidence that they were nervous. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I don't know. You guys have been absolutely scary to deal with for the last like 2-3 months at least that I know of from casting you guys across different leagues. And it's been exciting to see this new roster come together. You guys are showing just why you belong at the top. And we've seen you guys here before. And I look forward to seeing what you guys show for us in the semifinals. Is there anything in particular that you have to say to Hollow on the team from Pink Lemonade headed into tomorrow night?
I mean, I think that match is probably going to be one of the biggest matches in all of Tsunami Cup ever. So, I guess my only
Wow.
words are everyone should be there to see it. It's gonna be a banger.
Love to hear that as well. Again, these guys feeling that confidence as well. Tomato. Now again, it's not a lot of time, but what are you guys gonna do to prepare? Because as the season gets longer, these matches get tougher, and you guys know single elimination, you lose, you're out. So you guys cannot drop a step. What are you guys gonna do to make sure that you guys keep the confidence going? Because again, Pink Lemonade's a tough matchup, and the grand final is gonna be pretty tough. You guys gotta do a lot to make sure that you guys play as consistently as you have this season.
Yeah, I think we just need to stay consistent in our preparation, right? Scrims before games, scrims outside of match days, and just being on the game whenever we can to continue to improve.
Love the again the confidence coming here from Affinity Reborn. We're gonna let you guys go because I know you guys gotta prepare for that matchup tomorrow against Pink Lemonade in that final bracket. But before you guys go, we are gonna get some little shout outs here. We might as well do it. Let's start with Elites. Is there any shout outs you have? Anything you want to say to the people watching out there that have supported Affinity Reborn?
Oh, shout out Yulty. That's it.
Oh, simple as can be. Now we'll move on to Tomato here. Is there anything that you'd like to say, Tomato? Anybody in particular that you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, I'll also shout out Yulty, new member of my collegiate roster. Good to see the kid putting in work. And then I know Hugh Dog missed my shout out last time. Shout out to Hugh Dog. Big support from him. Appreciate it.
And now we'll have things with Soju. Again, has been in this league for such a long amount of time on Affinity Reborn to see this team, create incredible success in so many different divisions. What do you have to say, Soj, here?
I gotta say shout out to Shay. Shout out to Shay.
Again,
I
some
think he
shout-outs.
means Slim Shady.
we'll be seeing Shay and Affinity Academy play later tonight against Hunter's Team Not Found. So you guys better be there to support them later tonight. As again, thank you all so much for joining. Though Elite, Soj, and Tomato, congrats on your win over the Order of Paradox. Have a great night, and with any luck, we'll see you guys on the stream again in the grand finals.
Heck yeah.
Well, Tommy.
Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you
thanks
guys.
for the
Of course.
catch.
As TommyBuckets, again, we'll be seeing you for that semifinals coming up here. So, I mean, how are you feeling about that match? I know, again, we're going to be off for a little break, but how do you feel about that upcoming match?
I'm pumped for it. I think Team Not Found has proven themselves worthy here in RLSS, and I think they're going to bring that type of energy here tonight. And for Affinity Academy, I think, like I said, after the performance against Swordfish Splash Bros, I think that we're starting to see what they're capable of. And if they're able to step up to the plate, again, I think that same situation goes to stand for Affinity Academy. It's about, can they get into the batter's box, not only take those swings, but make contact with the ball? Because if they're able to do that tonight, seen Affinity Academy at their top, seen them at their peak, they can go toe to toe with Team Not Found, and we could be looking at a wonderful night.
And we could be here as again that upcoming match, Hunter's Team Not Found and Affinity Academy. We'll be with that match soon, but for now, we're going to go off to a break. We'll be back with that series, the semifinals for the Rocket League Splash Series Season 5. Season 5, sponsored by GameZone.tv and Fistball Entertainment. Heady Scarf Game, purchase and resell claim to fame. We'll be back to you guys shortly. Hey, thank you for the raid there, Taquito. And I see you say Somber. Shout out to him. Shout out Somber as well. Just joined the Ascent Tournament Series, our most recent caster edition. So welcome in Somber and Taquito. Stick around, guys. We're going to have 100 Team Not Found and Affinity Academy joining us very soon for some Surge Cup semifinals. And we're back. Welcome back to the spottiest stream. The Surge Cup semifinals are brought to you here live on X Team Not Found, Affinity Academy. And yes, that crazy guy to my left, that's TommyBuckets. How you doing, TommyBuckets? Nice to see you. And I see while we've been waiting after that last match from the Tsunami Cup quarterfinals, while we've only been preparing, this match is even more high stakes.
Yeah, we got two very talented teams wanting to come toe-to-toe. They're meeting each other in the semifinals for Affinity Academy. It's their shot at redemption against Team Not Found, who, little side note, the first team in RLSS to have 40-plus wins. So a huge performance from them so far since they have been here, and they look to continue that. They made it to the grand finals last season, where their chances were foiled against New Age Octanes, so they're hoping to get back to that.
The nice thing is Octanes aren't playing this season, so they are the best team in the league, at least coming in. They were the #1 overall team rated coming into the Surge Cup this season, and they have proved that very, very well. If you take a look at our playoff bracket, they're undefeated. They have not lost yet this season. In fact, of the top 4 teams, there's only one other that hasn't lost yet, and that's Def Cloud Esports Quarksters on the other side of the bracket. Affinity Academy, only one loss this season, and it came to Team Not Found. So, for both of these teams at this point, you can't count either of them out, but Team Not Found do have the advantage of having been here before, of having made it to the finals last season, and of being undefeated. So, for Affinity Academy, as you said, it's revenge, it's a shot at redemption. Even more so is the fact that they could usurp what would be considered the best team in the league right now.
Yeah, and it's very much deserved. These guys have played phenomenally well. They've been able to go through the ups and downs with their roster and be able to play as well as they have been. And Affinity Academy, I think it was kind of an eye-opener in week 1. I think a lot of times when Team Not Found, people find out pretty quickly that they're not exactly as lost as their team name may make them seem. And they wanted their shot back. They said they're bouncing back. We've seen them do it. They didn't lose another game all season. Now headed to the semifinals. And is their kryptonite before them. We're about to find out here tonight. And I'm pumped for it, man. I think no better matchup could have came in the semifinals than these two going toe to toe. Once I saw everything pan out, I knew it was going to be excitement to be able to see Affinity Academy get that chance to take them down here in the semifinals. So.
Yeah, as you mentioned, again, it's been insane to see that. I mean, if we take a look, I think, at our schedule as well, we'll see that Affinity Academy running off of a bit of confidence. Yeah, they just saw Affinity Reborn win their match over the Order Paradox from the exact same organization, so, you know, what a result that's going to be for them, because that's only going to give Affinity Academy more confidence to see that the other Affinity Reborn team that played here tonight has already done so well. So, again, confidence in that aspect for these teams, and, you know, for Affinity Academy, you know, just even to complicate this even more, this is not the first time they played this season. Again, as we said, not the first time Team That Found had played in the Rocket League Splash Series. Here, if we take a look at last season results, look at Affinity Academy. They came as that number 16 seed, and look who they lost to. It's Team Not Found. They lost to Team Not Found last season in the round of 16. So there's a good amount of history between these two teams against each other. And Affinity Academy, who again has the same captain this season in Shay, but a different roster, looking to try to take and turn things around. Both these teams have made changes. The Team Not Found, that changes, you know, now having Creoles playing instead of Scotty from last season for Affinity Academy. It's the only player that stayed around is Shay. So again, there's a good amount of history though from these older teams coming to these newer teams, and I expect to see that history all out over the field as these teams will fight for their season, because both these teams deserve to be in the grand finals, but only one of them can make.
Yeah, and when we talk about Shay, you know, not only has he been here with Affinity Academy, but he's developed as a player, and I have given him Slim Shady because sometimes he is just too smooth with it. And I'm pumped to see him come out tonight. I know that, you know, a lot's riding on both of these teams. You know, Team Not Found, they know at this point that Affinity Academy just wants that win. They want to be able to say that they've got that one up on Team Not Found. And I think for everybody, taking down the Titan, taking down the Goliath, if you will, is always the goal. Even if your team goes 1-6, if you're the team to take down this powerhouse of Team Not Found, it's a victory. Affinity Academy, of all teams, is one of the top teams that I think have that possibility. If they bring their A game tonight, I think we're looking at some Game 7 extended OT.
And for RX35 this season, things not going well. I see Break coming in. Thank you for the follow. Not follow. You've already followed. Thank you for the raid, Break. Welcome to the Sporty stream, everybody there from his channel. That also means, I believe, in our Riptide Cup is Next to Nomads, who just won as well. So congratulations to Next to Nomads if they're watching this. But what I was going to say is, really, for RX35 this season, not as good as last season. Last season, again, they had a ton of teams make really good brackets. But unfortunately for them, this season that's gone well. Hunter X Chroma in the Tsunami Cup lost in the quarterfinals. In the Surge Cup, the other Hunter X35 team in Hunter X Goons lost in the round of 16 to Affinity Sapphire, and the Hunter X Collision lost in the quarterfinals to Next to New Kooks. And in the Riptide Cup, Hunter X Panda lost to Olivet Gaming in the quarterfinals. So Hunter X35 this season, I only have one team that has made it in the top 4 of their respective division. That's this team here. So this is the only team left for Hunter X35. And I will say, the last time we saw them play on the stream was against Affinity Sapphire. And I'm just going to say it now, they did not look consistent in that match. And Riff was coming in. Even though he's been their long-time sub, I do worry, you know, for them, because that series was not consistent. And Affinity Sapphire was a team that they should have beaten a lot more consistently. Went to 6 games. Affinity Sapphire had a chance at beating them there. And Affinity Academy is a much scarier roster, a much better roster, I would say. They can't be this consistent against them. If they have the overcommit issues they had last match, they're going to lose here. And Affinity Academy are good enough to beat them. I would be worried if I'm a Hunter X35 fan.
Yeah, I think for sure that out of all the teams, you know, Affinity Academy, they want it. I've heard it. Slim Shady's got the dog in them. They're looking to make everything they can have happen to be able to take these guys down. So, and it's going to take exactly that. And I think this is going to be an absolute lights out, like EDM laser show, Tomorrowland level. I think these two teams are ready to battle it out. And it looks like everybody has also just joined the lobby.
Yeah, as you said, again, these teams preparing for what is quite the match, our final match tonight, a best of 7, and tactical timeouts are at play. I'm gonna remind them actually right now.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same thing. Just
Because these teams always need to be reminded. We're going to make sure we remind these teams who have tactical timeouts at their disposal. So we might see those utilized here as well as, again, we'll give these teams get a little bit of time here. Again, we'll give them just a little bit of time here to get things sorted out. Turns out the team not found using a tactical poop here right before their match. So we'll wait on them as soon as they're ready. But that being so, they just want to make sure everything is sorted out. But for them, it's J Hockey Creoles, as I mentioned to you before this we went live here. This is the team that they play with. And the other side for Affinity Academy, it's their starting roster: Shay, Haz, and Unity. And it's no surprise to see both these teams with their rosters coming in. Here's a roster they've been playing with for a little while now, and these are the roster that they should be the most comfortable with. But again, for the team not found, we also their sub. He was not meant to be playing on this team at this point in the season. It was meant to be Stitch, but they made those changes late in the season, coming into the playoff bracket. They stuck with their guns, but again, it only makes things tougher for team not found when they have to get used to a whole different roster.
Yeah, and being able to adapt from that and be able to stay undefeated like they have been, team not found showing just why they belong at the top of this division. For Affinity Academy, they're going to need to bring their A game. We talked about it earlier. This is another game just like the one we had before. It's not about just getting into the batter's box and taking good swings. They've got to land their hits. And if Affinity Academy can do that tonight, this is going to be one for the ages this season.
Yeah, we're just looking to see if these teams are ready. These teams want to do anything but say that they're ready to get things started. So we'll wait on them here as... I can't believe it's the Surge Cup match. It's becoming a lot more difficult to handle with here. And they weren't even the ones that had to be rescheduled late. So, again, we're hoping to get these teams in as soon as we can. It's our last match of the night. Again, as I said, best of 7 on the other side of the bracket. We have our other semifinals with the Surge Cup happening. Jeff Clarity Sports Corksters and Kooks, who are on Cheesy Chassis stream. So, that match is happening right now. As Tommy, are both teams ready to go?
It does look like they are ready to go. And you got the go-ahead in chat.
All right, let's get going here. Good luck to both these teams. A best of 7 series. Our next team not found, the best team in the Surge Cup, but with inconsistencies below. They're going to have some troubles ahead here against the Affinity Academy, who look to make the grand finals. A best of 7. Team not found in the blue. The last stand for our 35. And Affinity Academy of the Affinity Reborn organization, an org that is already seeing Affinity Reborn make quite the run in the Tsunami Cup. Boy, would they love to follow suit here in Surge, but with this series, as long as it is predicted to be, there is going to be no such thing as any easy wins.
Slim Shady tripped up on the goal line, but he's got Unity. Now out to midfield. Shay on the support. No boost left in the tank, and every member of Affinity Academy needed to be on that play. Big demo coming out from Hazard, opening up another opportunity. The wraparound play from Shay, and this one back out to midfield. Nothing too dangerous yet for team not found.
But as you said already, Hazard, living up to his name, Haz here has been going for a couple demos early on. He's looking to get in the faces of team not found, and it's one of the best ways to beat this team. That's an overcommit. Yuli will make quite the block, but already not great for Affinity Academy. They're not the team that's generally known for overcommitting. And against team not found, a team that is known for overcommitting, at least more recently, it's not a great start for them, although with Haz and his demo plays, we might see them really find a lot of success on the offensive side of the field. This could be a real shootout for ages, and I'm all for that because both these teams have the offenses to support that.
Rios, shot does go wide. Unity on the pickup. Over mid, 50 through a second. It's on the back wall. The drop down team play looking to come out for Hazard, but this one picked up by the defense. Back out to midfield, the put back from long range. Prios waiting patiently as third man, and feel like that's one of the hardest things for the third man to do, especially in some of these lower divisions. They tend to cheat up just a little too far, and that's where they find themselves in a little bit of trouble. Prios trying to do an early on job of maintaining the back line here for team not found.
Yeah, and you're already seeing what I mentioned is the biggest issue for team not found is that overcommit in the midfield, and it's generally not Greals actually who has that issue. It's usually Jay who sits the furthest back, and or Hockey, and it's usually one of them who have the issues of overcommitting. This team, wants to play offense. Team Not Found love to play offense. The problem is they sometimes get a bit carried away with it, and that can really hurt you. Against teams like Affinity Academy who can answer back, but there's no answer there. It's just Jay's front bumper slamming the ball in the back of the net, and it's the UnderX Team Not Found side who will score first.
Strong performance to the far side corner, now a 1-0 lead. Team Not Found, the welcoming party here in the semifinals, Affinity Academy. Looking for the first answer back. The call to arms has been beckoned. The trumpets have sounded. Will they be able to stand tall when it matters most here in the postseason? Shay gets up early and shuts this play down to the corner. Jay, though, rotating through, but not before the clear comes out for Affinity Reborn. Looking to get some offense going. But quickly, the transition back the other way, and Team Not Found. The aggression picks up once again. And hockey, the dinger to the inside post, finds its way through. It's 2-0 for Team Not Found.
You know, so often a Team Not Found, the players aren't made just by the shots, it's by the passes too. Krios had every bit of that goal as hockey did. And you just see the passing, the chemistry. Even though Krios says, you know, is their sub, was listed sub at the start of the season. This guy's been on this team for as long as some of the other players here have been for Team Not Found. He's been a long-time player, so these guys have the chemistry with him. And they trust him enough to go for those passes. It's one of the reasons why, even though Krios was not expected to be the player that would play for them in the playoffs, there's a reason why they're still the best team, at least by rating, in this playoff bracket. It's because even with that, they still trust Krios, and it's so hard to do because, no, he's their sub. He is not usually the one that starts for them. And yet to see him called into the playoff bracket, Team Not Found trusts this guy, and for good reason.
A beautiful setup play to give him a 2-point lead. Now Affinity Academy looking to just find a little bit of breathing room. And I think it's only game number 1. You don't want to hang your head too soon. And you just want to find just a little bit of that sigh of relief that things are going in their favor. And a strong final minute of play could be what they need headed into game number 2. Shay now cleared over the midfield line. Through the corners, got Yuichi, the pop out. Hazard on the shot. The demo rings out on the far side. This one broken up originally. The putback can't find its way through. And the pressure from Affinity Academy on full display. The iron wall from Team Not Found stays alive.
Team Not Found are just playing the defensive right now, but that's a big whiff, and Creels wasn't ready. It's an open net, and it has to take it. And Affinity Academy will get their first goal for the series, but not the way they expected there. Just a clean whiff from hockey. And with 17 seconds to go, it's far from over now. Affinity Academy only need one more goal to tie things up. Don't look away. 17 seconds left off the kickoff. A fake for Affinity. It almost went backwards for them. Shay will get back to it though. And with time running away, they'll need to push up the field. Dunked by Jay, but a double commit there from Team Not Found. And they're actually pushed up high here. But that clear won't do anything, and Kraos will keep it back. Hockey to drop it down. And that's game 1 for Team Not Found. The series starts in their favor.
Back to what we know best of Team Not Found, and that is out in front. They've been doing it for almost 2 seasons straight. It seemed like the only team that really struggled or really was able to capitalize and make them struggle was New Age Octanes, who they won't see this season. But they have them rooting for him in the chat, though. Love to see it. I love to see the camaraderie. That
Yeah,
comes
Hockey
out.
in chat now mentioning about Pay Repeat, one of the players of the New Age Octanes. Or again, one of the reasons why they didn't play this season, I don't think they were available. So for Team Not Found, again, the fact that the Octanes aren't playing this season has left the door wide open for them to take this championship. They know it, and we all know it, and there's a very good chance they go to the Tsunami Cup next season. In fact, actually, I can guarantee you they're going to go to the Tsunami Cup. I've heard some rumors about this roster. And again, you know, for them, this is probably their last chance in the Surge Cup. And, you know, with that kind of on the line for Team Not Found, that just makes this, you know, final season of the Surge Cup all that much more important for them.
And I think it speaks to who they are as players and as a team, because regardless of the championship, they're still going to be remembered as one of the toughest teams this division has seen. The only team so far in all of RLSS to compile 40 wins is no easy task, and Team Not Found has done so far. They still want that championship. They want to be able to say they made it all the way to the grand finals, and they want to take home that coveted Splash Championship, one that they so desperately look for here this season. Now Krios off the backboard, and the dunk comes through. Team Not Found have found their way here in match number 2.
For being the substitute that was added on, in these playoff matches, Krios is quite aggressive, and he's always shown that he likes to be that first player up, but we see it there as well from Krios. Why he's such an aggressive player, how he plays as such an aggressive player. Why Team Not Found can trust him to play that way. He's got the ability to shoot on target, although so often what he's so good at is passes. He can shoot as well, and for Team Not Found, that's an asset to have, to know about both, but you can't take your eye off the ball just yet. Krios is up again, looking for number 2. Across, but nobody there to wait, and Team Not Found, Krios already looking to not just keep it at 1 goal ahead.
Nice setup. Shea wanted all of that one at the midfield line, and the slight miscalculation could open up the door, but they've got Hazard there. Flashers blaring, shutting down the inside post. Jay now looking for Krios, who's been hot to the backboard. The double can't come through. Defense out of Affinity Academy standing strong, but the onslaught continues. The shots are raining down. Will they stay alive? Affinity Academy look for a clear. They find it here. They want a little bit of offensive presence now onto the far side.
As time keeps going on, what a match this has kind of turned out to be already. Just high energy, high action, and while there's only been 1 goal, I don't think that explains just how crazy this game has been. For the Team Not Found and Affinity Academy teams, we have seen a lot of action already, and there's a lot of pacing. These guys have only picked up the pace since we've first seen them play, and I expect more of that to continue. His hockey now. What a pass to Jay! Oh, and he's absolutely posterized. The Affinity Academy defense looks like a basketball move out there with what Jay just dunked on him with.
A beautiful little passing play, a little alley-oop, if you will, coming out of Team Not Found. And again, I think it's an early and stark reminder of those 40 wins that this team has managed to compile so far in this league. Now to the far side, hockey, the pop-up. Shea on the early challenge, can't get there soon enough. Team Not Found still making their presence felt on the offensive side of the pitch. Another 50 rings out on the backboard, played away to the corner. Into the Academy, looking for a little bit of breathing room. Can't find it quite yet. Hockey's up early, the confidence. Jay wants the dunk. This one can't find its way. And again, an absolute barrage of shots coming out for Team Not Found.
Yeah, and yet every single one of them right now is just being stopped by Affinity Academy. And here comes a dunk from Shea. Finally, Affinity have broken the shackles that have held them back. But can they make use of them? Krios, though, denying the opportunity. Unity, second touch will keep this one going. But Affinity Academy still just looking for one. And with how long they've played on defense, offense has been a luxury for them, has not been a given. And they need to utilize it here that they have it. But man, this time is just ticking away, melting off this clock, and although there's still over almost 2 minutes left, chances for Affinity Academy have been few and far between, and their chance here in Game 2 is falling away from them.
Leaving too much space. They know they've played them before, and maybe there's a slight change in pace of play, a slight difference in how Team Not Found are coming out and playing on the pitch here tonight. Right now, it's just a little too much room. Team Not Found, when you give them an inch, they take a mile, and with a 2-point lead inside the final 90 seconds of play, Affinity Academy desperately looking for one. If they can find this early one, buy them some time for an opportunity. The second come that, Affinity Academy can't find it here as the clear comes out.
Okay, keeping it towards the corner. Utility now has a couple whiffs in front. Team Not Found do have the offense still, and it's Jay by himself. The flick over 2, but no one there to challenge, and you can see why Team Not Found just playing the defense right now. They don't need to score, and as time ticks down, it's just such a great controlled style from Team Not Found. To recognize they don't have to push up, but they almost do so anyways, and even when they are playing the defensive, they're still over-aggressing, and Affinity Academy has not caught them out on it just yet, but they have to start recognizing some of the holes that are in this Team Not Found defense, because there are enough of them, but they aren't finding them either. The passing's been too crisp, and Team Not Found have a 3-goal lead. Surely that secures game 2.
With only 25 seconds on the clock, it's a tall order here for Affinity Academy. And again, it's what I like about best of sevens. It's still not over. You still could lose the next one, and it's still not over for Affinity Academy. You've got to be able to write that script. You've got to be able to go the distance. Best of sevens allow for some of the greatest stories to be told. Will that be tonight for one of these teams? Team Not Found chasing down what they feel is a stark reminder of the coveted championship out in front of them. And for Affinity Academy, they want to be able to say they finally took down Team Not Found when it mattered most during the league play. Right now, it has been all Team Not Found headed into game number 3.
It has been Team Not Found. Well, I wouldn't say it's even all Team Not Found, but Affinity Academy, only 2 shots this game. They have struggled. That's an understatement, just to say that they've struggled. It's been a little bit more than just struggling for them. It's been a lot more. It's been pressure. It's been problems. It has been no answers either on their side. And Affinity Academy, we'll see if they decide to use that timeout. They do have it in store, and again, they have it for the series. They know they can use it. They've used it in the past, I'm certain, in some of their past matches. But, I mean, especially with the matchup of Team Not Found as it is, we'll see how they respond to it. Because even if they use that timeout or not, pressure's still there from Team Not Found. No matter what they do, it will still be there. And they've got to just bring an answer to it. And again, the best way to do it is to just let them overcommits. And that relies on you being confident in your defense. So far, for Academy's defense has been good, but I don't think it's been good enough to be confident in.
Yeah, and for Affinity Academy, I think it's about it's about going for it at this point. It just feels like they're waiting for those mistakes to come out from Team Not Found. And frankly enough, I just don't think you're going to see them. They don't make too many of those mistakes. You don't get 40 wins in 2 seasons by making those mistakes. So for Team Not Found, a team that is so profound in finding the victory, Affinity Academy need to be a little bit more proactive in creating mistakes for them. Something that we just haven't seen come out of them yet. Will this be the opening as Hazard shuts down a close call for Affinity Academy?
Yeah, but another shot goes in, and I'm sorry, TommyBuckets, but you just cursed them a little bit there, but it doesn't really matter. Just look at this control, and look at how close Team Not Found is playing to this net. Affinity Academy have no time to react to that shot on their nets. That's just how scary this Team Not Found team is when they're at their most confident. They play so close, they play so high up, you don't get time to react against them. And while that can also be their biggest weakness, at least for now, Affinity Academy has not been able to capitalize like Affinity Sapphire has on the overcommits, and it's becoming their biggest weakness right now. Their biggest problem is this Team Not Found aggression.
Nice carry. Now the reset finds Krios over the midfield line. Into the zone. Shot on target. Jay wanted to find that one. Played away by Slim Shady themselves. Now the play into the corner. And I feel like if we're talking about who or what we need to see step up, I think the captain, something needs to happen behind the scenes to really remotivate and regain that momentum back in favor of Affinity Academy. You know you can play. You're here in the semifinals. We all know you guys got the capability, but you got to stand tall against Team Not Found, like most teams struggling to make that happen here.
Wait a second, did our stream crash? I don't think our stream crashed. Is everybody okay?
I got it pulled up and seems good.
Alright, somebody in chat saying the stream crashed. It did not crash on us, hopefully. Hopefully everything's going well. So now stream's fine. Everybody in chat's trolling me. Here, you guys are... you guys are crazy. Juicyberg coming in with a little raid. Thank you for the raid, Juicyberg. For the Surge Cup here. Next Team Not Found at Affinity Academy here in Game 3. Team Not Found up by 2. And I mean, I thought last year's was pretty one-sided with Affinity Reborn beating the Order Paradox 4-1, but this game has completely baffled me, Tommy, because we both thought it should be pretty close on paper. It has not been such. It's been Team Not Found who have had the number of the series for the entirety of it so far, and if Affinity Academy can't score soon, they won't have this game either. They're going to be down with quadruple match point against them.
Yeah, and I think it's just being able to kind of let go of what has been for Affinity Academy. They have to find a way to take down Team Not Found, and we know that through league play they've met twice before, and will this be the third, and the third to go in favor of Team Not Found? And again, we're still seeing a lack of just aggression from Affinity Academy. They're still almost waiting for opportunities, and maybe it was just a matter of time as Slim Shady gets a finger roll to land.
There we go, over there and under Affinity Academy with a goal back and only one away. That's the nice thing about this, is that they've not let Team Not Found have too many goals. And with half a game to go, they have scored first earlier and earlier every single game, but they haven't been able to make the comeback. Now's their chance, but a flip reset from Krios. That goes high, and Jay nearly shut it in, but shut down by Jay, and Affinity Academy can go the other way. Utility chasing down this one, but Feels with the little play under now, going towards the nets. Haz is going to have to wait, but Aki wants to go straight for it. And Team Not Found are just waiting for the opportunities, but they haven't shown themselves yet. But here it is with Krios, and that one nearly finding the net. The next Team Not Found are getting opportunities. They haven't scored, but it feels like only a matter of time. Affinity Academy have to find something soon, or else their chances in this game are over. But a whiff, and that's it. It's Haz, and it's a tied game.
So far, the patient game's starting to pay off a little bit for Affinity Academy. These mistakes are starting to come through on the back line. 4 Team Not Found, and now in a sudden turn of events, a 2-point swing in front. The Academy have now put themselves in a lot more comfortable situation heading into the end here of the closeout. Game number 3. Hockey, the pop-up, into the corner, wants the center, finds the pinch, but I don't think anybody on the pitch thought that one was coming through. A power pinch coming out, kick things off on this initial attack here from Team Not Found. Now the ball sits at midfield, Hockey up first, finds it into the corner. Haz plays it away, looking for a clear, doesn't come through quite yet. Now Unity to clear over the midfield line, the break. Affinity Academy might have been looking for.
Yeah, maybe this is a chance, but time's running out, and Jay off the crossbar! No chance in stopping that one. One of the next Team Not Bound, back and with a passion.
That one, and almost like, you ever played pinball and it gets stuck between a couple of bumpers and just that's what that shot reminded me of, but it puts them out in front. Now a 1-point lead, and the aggression from Team Not Found, similar to what we see from Affinity Reborn. When they get out in front, they tend to kind of let loose a little bit. The chains come off, and could it cost them? Here, Hazard on an early cutback with low boost ties it up 3-3.
So often, one of the biggest.
Talk about a read. That was a power 50 coming across that.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong about that. So often we see players rely on the ability to just have a good eye for the game, and we see Haz there with a good eye for that play. He saw exactly where it was going, was in the perfect spot for it. And this game is tied again. Maybe we see an overtime. Oh, another whiff from Team Not Found. It's in front. Hockey will clear it out, but oh my goodness, Team Not Found almost cost themselves there with that whiff in the midfield. And boy, what a way that would have ended this series had it gone through. But here goes another chance. Shay, another whiff. Jay to get the challenge. And with 10 seconds left, it's Team Not Found who are looking for offense, but Affinity Academy with a chance to maybe bring quite the win for this game. Time ticking away. Haz won't get that shot. Shay up for it, but he will let it hit the ground. And we've got OT. Team Not Found have a chance to go to quadruple match points.
The golden hour in front of the Affinity Academy. Will they find a little bit of breathing room, a second wind, if you will? Will they fall to Team Not Found? once again, and we've seen it before, the tradition of Team Not Found's dominance here in RLSS is nothing most of us are unfamiliar with. But Affinity Academy might
they
have
overcommitted.
they left the back door wide open, and that's not the opportunity you can give them. Jay sends this one to the front door.
And that was just a strange overcommit. Affinity Academy, quite a baffling decision to go for that, and that is going to cost them more than just the game. That cost them a lot of this series, because now they've got to win the next 4 games straight. For Affinity Academy, man, things have gone from bad to worse in that game, and with the series on the back line here for them, they've got to fight for everything, because literally everything is on the line.
And we've seen the camaraderie come out of Affinity Academy in the past. Question is, will they be able to do it here tonight? Will the words be spoken true for Affinity Academy, or will they fall in a sweep coming out of Team Not Found? And it's been close. We've seen them get a couple of hits off Sporty, but they need something to land out of the park. Unfortunately, in this series, Team Not Found, it's one of those teams that are going to make you work for it. It just seems like they've always put up points, and not just ones and twos. They tend to put up quite a few. You got to be able to also score. Right now, that seems to be the struggling point for Affinity Academy.
It has been. Their struggling point has really been able to score early. They've scored earlier every single game, but still, that last game took half the game for them to get a goal. And when a team that found her up by so many, you rely on those kind of comebacks, it's just not going to happen more often than it won't. And we'll see how this one goes here. Game 4. And the pressure is on the line for Affinity Academy, a team that found potential to do what they did last season, which is sweep the semifinals, going all the way to the grands. Again, right now, GT chats with the other semifinals. I'm sure that one is probably a little closer than this one, at least on the score line. And again, you know, for Team Not Found to know that they're only one game away from getting to that grand finals, from going to where they failed last season, it's got to be quite an emotional moment for them. Still, though, they need to get that win, and Affinity Academy aren't going to make it easy, no matter how unlikely their winning the series is.
Yeah, they're a team that has a lot of heart, and this is where you're going to need it most. The back's against the wall, the season on the line, and for Affinity Academy, we know they want to be able to take home that victory, and what better way to do it in the semifinals of the postseason here in Surge Cup Division. They've got a tough road in front of them. I think if any reverse sweep was needed, and you could see any team on the opposite side of that, the only team you really just don't want to see is a team that's been able to compile 40-plus wins in 2 seasons. So that's only regular season, folks. That's not even what they've managed to do in the postseason. So these guys, and Jay finds another one. And it looked for a moment like that was going to be saved. I thought the roll was just enough. But Hazard gets a piece off the crossbar in the early start for Team Not Found.
Yeah, and again, as we've said before, Team Not Found seem to be the ones to get these to kind of win in the first part of the game. It really relies on Affinity Academy. When they score, that's when they can start to make that comeback. And if they score earlier, they are in a much better position, but as we've seen, they are a bit slow to get things going in any of these games, and as more time ticks off the clock, that means more opportunities for Team Not Found to continue that that lead, to advance their lead, but also less time for Affinity Academy to come back from the deficit they have. And Team Not Found just looking to make life as tough as possible, and they have done a very good job with it. But a great dunk from Mulity has the jump, but Jay will keep him away, and Krios' redirect has to go down the field and take away everything Affinity Academy had worked for.
Close call, but patient on the back line from Team Not Found, and they hang on to the 1-0 lead. Nice pop-up. Hazard not there. Krios cleared away. Hockey upfield, wants it into the corner. The touch favors, but Shea's there for the pickup. Into the Academy, looking to find their way through the midfield line. They're stuffed by Krios. Now the shot to the far side, off the post and in. The super sub from Krios. The postseason has been dividend for Krios. Just absolute shot after shot after shot. What better performance out of a sub than the one we're seeing from Krios here tonight?
Half the game to go, but it's Krios who is paving the way for Team Not Found. Now Jay has one goal, wants two, must deflect, oh, but he couldn't put it on. And it's Team Not Found who will wait in there, but a big misplay from Hockey. At this point, he's just playing keep away. Affinity Academy racing after him, but they won't beat Hockey to the ball as he'll go across. Has the dunk, it's open for Unity! And that one's back in. Team Not Found fell apart by their own work. Affinity Academy will make them pay.
Hopefully that's a little bit of boosted confidence for Yuta, who's been fairly quiet in tonight's series. Player that has the capabilities and the means to make plays just like that happen. Mechanics are there. It's a matter of being able to find the connection against a tough squad. And will that be the opening that Yuta needed? Will it be the beginning of the end? Shot comes out. Hazard's there. Now the clear over the midfield line. Beautifully touched into the zone. Got the chance. Played away by Jay, and Team Not Found hanging on to a 1-point lead.
Yeah, it's a lot like last game, but this lead is not safe in the slightest, and Team Not Found know it quite well. This is a desperate defensive play from them. They're just trying to get this ball away from that by all means and any means. And with, it's still 90 seconds to go, Affinity Academy are going to get chances. How good are those chances going to be? How often are they going to come? And Team Not Found, they're hoping that the answers are 0 and rarely. And, well, right now, they haven't done very well at preventing either of those with Affinity Academy upfield. But a fake from Hockey has us with that one. And now he'll go by himself, but a challenge from Yuldi. And it's Team Not Found who will have to go back to their nets with Krios.
Starting to find the rhythm on offense. Shea up, can't get through Hockey, cleared away. Krios up early. The touch towards the net, the back wall, the shot from Hockey. One bounce, it counts. And it's like they wrote it up on a playbook somewhere. Even John Madden himself is smiling ear to ear.
Team Not Found. I mean, it's the passing. That's what they've made a name for themselves for last season. This season, they kind of were stitched. They didn't really go for it as often. But now that Krios is back, now that Krios is playing, they're playing with those passes again. And you're seeing the exact same Team Not Found that was able to make second place last season, was able to go to Game 7 against New Age Octanes in the Grand Finals. You've seen them do it all over again, and this time with the same results, with them again being that top team, the undeniables in the Surge Cup in so many ways. Last week, I was a bit worried for them against Affinity Sapphire. This week, there's nothing that they have had to worry about against Affinity Academy. This is a much more solid team, a much more consistent team, one that's not making the same mistakes. And while Affinity Academy can be as good as they can be, and when Team Not Found are playing this well, they stand no chance. Time will run out for Affinity Academy. The chances run out, and so will their season life. A 4-0 sweep. Team Not Found have played incredible from start to finish, and this will finish off Affinity Academy. Team Not Found for the second straight season will be going to the Surge Cup Grand Finals. What a performance it's been. Again and again, these guys have done it.
A beautiful performance in that. Like I said, we've heard Jay talking about it, and now the opportunity arises. They are headed to the Grand Finals. They are headed for a chance at redemption again here in RLSS.
Yeah, again, I have been impressed with this team every single time I've seen them, and they only seem to be getting better and better every single time. And again, it's no slight to Affinity Academy. These guys are solid, but Team Not Found just had their number. They swept them. Here, they did not make it look all that close, in all honesty, and that's scary because, again, it's the semifinals. This is what Team Not Found did last season, and it feels like they're here to do it all over again, and I think people really cannot underestimate them, because if they're playing like this against Defco Corksters in the Grand Finals, again, the more likely matchup, we don't know what we're going to see out of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost. Does anybody have an update on how that match is going?
Because I can find chess.
There's two teams that I know of. As a matter of fact, the crazy thing about 100X Team Not Found right now is everybody standing in their way is aiming for headshots. Death Cloud Corksters, they said they're winning it all. The Kooks, they're headed to the championship. Team Not Found had Affinity Academy in the semifinals who wanted their shot at redemption. I mean, they have got everything in the kitchen sink that's going to be thrown at them headed into the grand final coming up this Sunday. So I'm pumped for it. I think if all teams have the capabilities of standing tall to that type of energy coming at them, I think Team Not Found, team you want to see that way.
I can give you an update. It's 2-2. So that's other series on chat stream. It's
man.
2-2. FCO Quirksters are not having a good time here, playing against next New Kooks. So that matchup's got to have a lot riding on it. As we're gonna get a little interview here with Team Not Found while we're waiting here. Hockey, Jay, Krios, a 4-0 sweep. A performance this week that looked a lot better than last week's. You know what? How scary last week was for you guys. Jay, this win is kind of has to settle your nerves a little bit.
Sorry, I didn't hear the question. You dragged us mid question.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What I was saying was about last
Okay.
week. Your win last week against Affinity Sapphire was not a confident looking one. It was not a perfect looking one. This week felt a lot better. You know, with what was it that you guys kind of saw from last week that you now put into this week to improve on yourselves?
To be honest, I think we took a little more serious. That's really the main change. We had we actually left a swordfish tournament in the grand finals to join this match. We just forfeited the grand finals, so sorry, Juan, if he's still watching. But yeah, I think we just were a lot more prepared today and the better team. GG's to Affinity Academy, but we were a lot more confident heading into that series.
And for me, I'm taking it way back, Jay. I'm going back to what's going to feel like the dawn of time.
Oh
The
god,
end of season,
don't say
the
it.
end of season
Don't say
4. And it was about 5 minutes after the unfortunate falling of Team Not Found in the grand finals. And I got a message saying, we're coming back next season. I want my chance to take home the crown. What does it mean to know that now here standing before you, you have coming at you the grand finals here in the Surge Cup division on Sunday?
Hey, last season we lost to, I think I saw Paver in chat. Huge shout out to them. They were a great team to play against, great competition, and I think that series could have gone either way. But like Tommy said, it literally as soon as that series was over, I DM'd them and said we'll be back next season. So we have a lot to prove. We came in with the must-win mindset. There was no other option for us. There's no drawing. There's no losing. There's nothing other than winning in our minds. And we're going to go into this grand finals with no other bit of confidence than we are winning it.
And you love to hear that kind of confidence.
to
And
hear.
also joining us here, Hockey, Krios. I know Hockey was and Krios were both part of this roster last season. Both experienced what it's like to lose in that grand finals. You know, Hockey, this is feeling very reminiscent of last season. You guys swept the semifinals on this stream last season. You know, with last season kind of at the backs of your minds, do you guys feel like you're playing a lot better now, knowing that you aren't worrying about that last season because that last season is behind you?
Yeah, I feel like the last season was a long time ago, and we've had a lot of room to just shake it off and improve. I'm really proud of the way we've all been playing recently. We've really just locked in collectively as a team, studied, get a few coaching sessions. Yeah, I'm just really confident in us, so I'm not going to lose any of that. Hopefully it's a different outcome. You never want it to be the same. It's not fun losing in the finals, so hoping to win it this time.
What I like to hear, and you guys are playing phenomenally well, man. Another 20-plus season. I don't know if you guys knew about it coming into it, but I talked about it. That doesn't even include what you guys do in the postseason. But in a regular season format, Not Found is the first official 40-plus team or 40-plus win team here in RLSS. So you guys have shown that you belong here. You've shown that you are at the top of this division and now headed back to the grand finals. I look forward to seeing what you guys have in store. Whoever down there, it sounds like it's a close battle between Death Cloud, Quirksters, and End-to-End Kooks. Whoever's stepping up to the plate, they better bring their A game. I don't know if I could just feel the confidence spilling off of you guys. So I expect nothing but exceptions from you guys, exceptional play from you guys coming up in the grand finals, and I think it's going to be fireworks.
And again, we love to hear. And as also joining us here, Krios. I know for you, Krios, it's been an interesting situation to be added on Team Not Found again to be the guy to kind of come up and really be, again, we mentioned super sub, although you are playing on this roster every series so far. So, you know, what a season has been, you know, for you. I've already mentioned it last week about how, you know, it's been to this season. So this time I'm going to mention it. I know you guys are confident going into that grand finals, but before you guys leave, do you have any shout outs you want to say? Anything you want to say out to people out there who supported you? Because, again, you've been on this Team Not Found roster for a while, and every single time you've seen the show up, and, you know, people doubt you, but they really shouldn't be because you are playing that well. You've been on this roster for such a long time.
You know, I kind of came in as a wild card for the team for the playoffs. They had already clinched when I came in.
Hold
and
on,
started
no.
playing.
I'm taking this from him. I cannot shout out Krios enough. I don't care. I'm jumping in and taking it from him. Krios has been phenomenal. He's been on this team for so long and just been that guy who never says no. He's always willing to put in work, and he just always shows up to play. Such a good energy he brings to the team. Like I can't praise this dude enough. I'm so proud of him, and he's getting the spotlight he deserves. He really went from the super sub to now being one of our best players, if not the best on most nights. So you can take the rest of this question. I had to jump in and say that though, because this guy doesn't get enough praise.
Appreciate it, Jay. But yeah, I came in as, you know, the wild card, and I think I've really just started to show up, and a lot of that goes to how Jay and Hockey play. They're just letting me shine, letting me do my thing, let me fit where I need to fit to help us win games, and it's worked phenomenally so far. I think we have a total of 1 series lost against GC2 teams through all the time I've played with them, and I joined the team sometime around October. So it feels real good. I really want this win. I know what happened last season. I wasn't on the roster. I wasn't starting for the roster, but I want it real bad.
Again, Krios coming in here at the shout outs. We'll now go to Hockey. Anything that you want to say as well, Hockey?
I mean, they basically took all the shout outs right from my mouth at my point, but shout out to all my friends that have been supporting me throughout my season. I've just been promoting myself, you know, just getting the little love. It's fun to watch back the VOD and see the love, you know, it's always a great feeling. But shout out to you, of course, for casting. Shout out to Tommy for being there with the co-cast, and just shout out to all the love in just RLSS and especially Surge in general, just how tight every team is. Even though it's competitive on the field, off the field, we're all just close friends, and it's amazing to be in a league like that.
And let's end things off with Jay. I know, again, you mentioned how confident you've been this season, how confident you are now to get to play in those grand finals. Again, that's your winner would be either DeathCloud Corksters or End-to-End Kooks. That match is right now 3-2 in favor of DeathCloud in Game 6. So, 3-2 series lead. They're leading in Game 6 as well, so good chance you might be playing against the other undefeated team. Anything you want to say? Anything you want to say about any of those two teams?
Who's streaming that?
That is Cheesy Chaz. Chaz is streaming it.
Easy Chess. Okay. Hey man, our game plan's the same for either of those teams. We're winning that series. We're going to the finals and we're beating either of them. That's our mindset. We haven't seen a lot out of DeathCloud. We actually scrimmed Cooks a couple times. I know they're both really scary teams. Yogan specifically for DeathCloud, and just all of Kooks is insane. I haven't seen much of DeathCloud, but I know that Yogan is definitely their standout player.
And thank you so much for joining our next Team Not Found. Again, for you guys, you're very happy. A 4-0 sweep. You guys are looking great going into the grand finals. Congratulations on your win. Good luck in that final matchup. Again, that will be coming up in just literally tomorrow. So you guys got to prepare for that one. And thank you all so much for joining, though. Have a great night.
Yep. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, TommyBuckets, what today has been 2 matches coming up. I've got another match coming later up as well. After this, I've got actually another playoff match for a different league. But while we end off this stream here, any final remarks you want to say here? Kind of looking back at all these results as Pasca coming in raid. Thank you for the raid, Pasca. Joining in again. You joined in just in time. We're gonna raid out here to Cheesy Chaz actually because he's got his match up and running with Kooks actually leading 3-2 now. They just made an insane comeback. So that series could go all the way to Game 7. But if you take a look at our results so far, Affinity Reborn with a 4-1 win, Team Not Found with a 4-0 sweep. The recap today and what you've seen from the Rocket League Splash Series, it is insane, and there's still, again, one other match going on Cheesy Chaz's stream. It's Pasca cheering. Thank you, Pasca. Big support of the Pasca, great caster. As Tommy, just like, you gotta recap what it has been like today, because it's been some incredible matches.
Yeah, so early on, we had the matches coming out of, or I guess it started with you and I casting that Tsunami match was the first one in the evening. Affinity Reborn doing what Affinity does best. And they're going up against Pink Lemonade. You heard even Soj say it. They got their eyes on Hollow. I think that's an amazing matchup coming at them. And it set the pace for what could be an absolute crazy showdown in the grand finals of the Tsunami Cup with Mach 10 and 909 on the other side. And then down in Riptide, saw MVS Cinderella story, was able to take down High Tide Cloud Daddies, one of the top seeds in the Riptide division, headed into the semifinals. Nebula, their storyline, if you've been here since season 3, is one for the books, man. Well deserved from them. Headed to the Riptide Grand Finals tomorrow night, and that's coming up against End-to-End Nomads, who got some legends on that team. Between Hazy Days and OG and RLSS, and Gray, and then the accolades between Gray and Clixel are phenomenal. I think that's a matchup of the century, and whoever team not found is going to end up getting the Corksers or the Kooks. Got
It's
some
in Game
amazing
7.
offense. It's going to Game 7.
Yeah.
And that's I had a feeling it was. I had a feeling coming into it. You got the offensive power coming out of the Kooks. They're so strong. But DC Corksers, man, something about this roster and just being competitive and playing solid Rocket League at that level of play is what makes them so dangerous. And they've had an undefeated season, but they got to go up against the Kooks, and it's a tough offense to slow down. Owl is probably, arguably, one of the meckiest players the Surge Cup's going to see, so they've got to find a way to shut down that opportunity coming for the Kooks, and it's going to be amazing to see how that pans out. So, and side note, Cyclone just finished up their quarterfinals next to new esports 4-0'd Artifice. They're headed to Midwest Mafia Black in the semifinals. Excited for that as well.
It is, again, some insane matches coming out, and as you mentioned, these leagues, they're kind of nearing its end. End-to-End one. I did tell you they were going to win, so happy I got my prediction correct. Tommy, we both didn't agree on who was going to win that match, and so I'm happy I'm correct for once in these predictions. But okay, what a match it is. We're gonna go very GG chest though, so you guys can see that Game 7. It's again an insane matchup. We'll be live later tonight though with another playoff match coming from a different league. But for now, take care, be well. We'll see you again very soon.